XRP Army, Trump accomplished the absolutely unimaginable, something not many of people were expecting. And now, well, almost one of the biggest news events of this generation is being covered by everyone everywhere. Indeed, this is influencing XRP. This is having effect on Bitcoin. This is affecting the whole crypto market, equities, oil prices. Basically, everything is now going through an insane period. You have most definitely observed the wild fluctuation XRP is currently experiencing. On this channel, we have long been discussing a large XRP dump. I was looking forward this black swan incident. I am going to provide you all the information, what I am doing, and what I think to be the best present line of action. That is only my viewpoint personally. None of you guys should be following financial advice. I want to be absolutely clear, but right now we have an incredible chance. Thus, I am using what is happening. Basically speaking, though. Still, that's only what I think. Let us therefore enter the current events. Therefore, some of you most likely heard that the United States is intervening in the Iran matter. Though it does affect Blow World Oil, I am not going to discuss too much about what is happening there and the politics of it. Since, if you guys knew, the Strait of Hormuz handles 20% of the global oil supply, and Iran claims that in reaction to recent U.S. activities, they will be obstructing this path. And what does this imply now? This implies then, most surely, that oil prices will rise. Given that 20% of the world's oil supply is a huge matter, there is far less competition for the present oil leaders in place. Of course, this also results in significant losses for every individual currently producing oil and transporting it via these paths right here. Furthermore, should Iran go through with this, many people will be going without oil for a considerable period of time. But this is not at all how much this will intensify matters. Sure, riskier assets get totally destroyed when oil prices rise. The markets usually run this way. And so in the short run, what you usually see is assets like Bitcoin, XRP, other cryptocurrencies get utterly destroyed before making a V-shaped recovery, when generally we find some type of solution. But the minute Russia's chairman of the Security Council says, many nations are ready to immediately provide Iran with this right here, things are getting more and more complex. Though I'm not even going to mention this word, everyone around here clearly worries about this. Naturally, given what's already transpired, this is now adding even more anxiety and uncertainty to the markets. Russia is, clearly not super close ties with the United States, and making this sort of movement following what just transpired with the US and Iran is a concern for many different people. He also mentioned that Iran's enrichment of this particular component and upcoming weapon manufacturing will go on. All right, Russia's posture so seems rather clear. China is friends with Iran and supports Russia as well. Thus, as the U.S. has now joined, a direct conflict, we will simply call it, and things are seeming to be getting more complex with another nation having allies with some influential people. Trump, therefore, essentially returned and said this: any reprisal Iran takes against the United States of America will be met with force much more than what was seen tonight. I appreciate you. Trump, therefore, one more, is clearly expressing his position. Iran ought not reply. Iran has declared, we will react. We are going to cut off 20% of the global oil supply. And how would Michael Saylor handle this? He claims, then, he is going to buy additional Bitcoin. Right? And I want to be really clear about something. For myself, purchasing XRP right now off of this dip is a fantastic idea. I also want to provide you some simple historical illustrations of why I believe my thought process is based. I want to return right here to April, when the trade fights were spiraling completely insane. Perfect? The price of XRP dropped drastically what we observed. It was trading, right before the tariff. Wars kinda occurred at February 17th, somewhat similarly to where we were trading just before this great fall we have had. $2.17 per coin. It dropped then as low as $1.61 per coin, bottoming out there and finally rebounding to where we had started, right back up here at $2.18 per coin. Yes, you look at this graph right here, and it becomes quite evident to me, as least that retail and institutions both generally buy these dips. Thus, these kind of significant price losses don't stay very long. Another instance of a V-shaped recovery was right here once more at the beginning of the month during tariff disputes. Perfect? Here we found XRP trading at $2.61 per coin. It dropped rapidly all the way to $1.89. It sank, then finally rose back up here to pay $2.58 apiece. Now, in both of these circumstances, if you had bought any place close to the bottom, under $2 per coin, right? Or around $1.80 or whatever. Surely. Well, guess what if you had bought anywhere close by and then sold up here once more? You would have been doing really brilliantly. On 5x leverage, 2x leverage, 3x leverage, or even 4x leverage, you could have generated over 100% returns. Certainly, depending on when you made purchase. And here too has occurred this. We were trading here at $2.60 February 24th. We fall all the way down to $1.95 right here to have a single-day gain the next day at 34%, returning us to $3. Sure? So once more, you're doing great if you sell anywhere near there. Thus, yeah, I see this kind of scenario right now and believe that another V-shaped recovery is ahead. That is my theory. I believe that is what will transpire. You see, I purchased this red day. That red day was purchased by me. I paid for this red day. I buy each single red day. No, I'm not investing all of my portfolio on each one purchase either. I can buy 4 times in the last, 6 days, this way. Indeed, I am loading a little bit more to my futures account after depositing 15%, 15%, 15%, and then I will be purchasing more and more. For what reason? I am quite sure that if I can find this bottom, I will be absolutely killing it, as I have seen this V-shaped recovery occur so many times. Just look at this extremely crazy candle we came onto right here on February 3rd, right? That day we had a high of $2.77 and a low of $1.77. We ended that candlestick higher than our starting point. Although this is the most ridiculous candle I have ever seen in my life, it is the kind of thing that the market allows right now. Fear also drives illogical